Hello everybody, good evening and welcome to the United Stand. Manchester United 2, Crystal Palace 1, and justice prevails as Manchester United find their way to a very hard-fought 3 points in the end. It was comfortable at 2-0 and then the referee had to stick his nose in, sent Casemiro off in what I felt was wrong circumstances. But look, defensive side of that team yet again saw us home because it should have been a lot more comfortable than it was. But when it went down to 10 men, and let's not forget, Crystal Palace haven't played for 2 weeks. They were fresh, they were up for it, and we really had to push hard, didn't we? But look, Casemiro's red is a disgrace as far as I'm concerned. I've seen it again just before I went live. That's why I was a little bit late. And look, that is just embarrassing. That what has happened there is a bloody milk monitor, Jobsworth, in the VAR thing has gone, oh, Andre, I've seen something. Look at what I've seen. Come and have a look at this. It was never a red. It never needed to even be highlighted. He's gone and had a look at it, that Pratt at VAR headquarters, milk monitor, and gone, oh, look what I've seen. Oh, come and have a look at it, Andre. And he's gone, yes, I'll make a name for myself. I'll send Casemiro off. I'll tell you what, I'll tell you for free. If that's Harry Kane doing that with a British passport, nothing happens. Absolutely nothing happens. Martinez, what a player, says Akash. It's an embarrassing red card because at the end of the day, all that's happened is, and Casemiro shouldn't put his hands on someone's neck, I completely agree, but he's not throttling him. He's basically keeping him at arm's length, saying get back. For about 2 seconds, he has his hands on his collar, like that, and then he takes one away and says, calm down, and that's it. And Hughes just walks off. There is no throttling, there is no violence, there is no intent to be violent. It is literally holding him off on the neck, which, you know, it's just ridiculous to get. It's not, you know, if he'd given him a yellow card for that, I think we'd be moaning about that. No Crystal Palace player was shouting for a red. I don't think anybody expected it to be a red, other than the Pratts that orchestrated it from VAR. And my issue with it is, and why I'm saying it's a disgrace is, how can you find an incident like that wasn't part of the incident? Nobody saw it. Nobody was bothered about it. And some milk monitor Jobsworth at VAR has gone, oh, look at what I've seen. Look at what I've seen on the edge. Oh, it's like an Easter egg in a bloody Star Wars film. Look at what I've seen. I've spotted something. And then it becomes this big thing. But my issue is, when you grab someone like that round the neck just to hold them off, not to bloody throttle them for 2 seconds, and you quite visibly can see the player's not bothered, and you can visibly see that Casemiro's not being violent because he's going like that, when you send someone off a red card for that, you've got to send the guy off who starts it all, who literally runs into Anthony and purposely, violently pushes him 5 metres across the floor into a bloody advertising board. That's the inconsistency that pisses me off. If you're going to send Casemiro off for next to nothing, you've got to send the guy off who started it. You've got to. But no, we're going to send off a lad who's done nothing to do with starting it, who's just holding somebody off. Granted, he shouldn't be grabbing around the neck, but it's not violent. It's ridiculous. And the thing is, he misses 3 games now. He misses three and a half games nearly because he got sent off with about 20 minutes to go. So he misses 3 games for that. That's not, you know, violent conduct is when somebody bloody slaps somebody or, you know, a violent tackle. It's just an absolute disgrace. And like James says, Andy Carroll ends Eriksen's season and doesn't get booked, but Casemiro gets sent off for that. That is exactly right. It's common sense. I know what's violent conduct. I know what should get a 3-match ban. I'm telling you, if he'd have looked at that, if nobody had even seen that and done anything about it, no one would be talking about it. No, we can appeal it, Rack, but I don't think it'll. They'll back the ref, won't they? There's still a Ayew with his hands around Fred as well, says Alvaro. And Hughes didn't even react. How about Schlupp? Literally pushed Anthony into the boards and started the scrum. Disgraceful. Yes, Jerome. And then Schlupp ends up getting the goal as well. It's just, I don't mind Casemiro getting sent off. If you think that is a bad look and he should get sent off, that's fine. For me, you know, it doesn't. But the reality is, if Ayew, like a HX says, had his hands around Fred's neck, why has he not been sent off? If we're sending people off because they're having their hands on someone's neck, because that's all Casemiro does, he's not throttling him, then Ayew should get sent off. But more importantly, Schlupp should have got sent off because he was being violent. That was violent conduct. It was deliberate. It was aggressive. You watch it back. He sees Antony there and he absolutely takes him out. Just because he doesn't use his head or his hands, he uses his body as a weapon and he takes him out. That should be a red. We can manage without Casemiro for Leeds and Leicester, but will be rusty for Barca now, says Antony. And yeah, look, I think it's a disgrace. It's happened. It is what it is. But Man United winning the game was more important. Obviously, it would have been a bloody major disgrace if we'd end up losing a 2-0 lead because of incompetent refereeing. We got over the line. I think it's a fantastic result. I think it's an absolutely fantastic result. We are not going to be able to play at a high level every 3.5 days. And I think today was a prime example of not winning when you play badly, but winning when you're not at your best. And I think we were a little bit tired today. We're going to be. I think Crystal Palace were a hard team to face. And I think that's what makes that result all the more rewarding, especially when you see teams like Chelsea can't beat Fulham and Liverpool losing to Wolves. It just shows you the intensity and competitive nature of this season, that what we're doing cannot be dismissed. Like, I think there are some people who go, oh, United haven't played anybody, but that's a nonsense. We've played a lot of good teams in the last 2 months since Christmas, since the World Cup break, and we're beating most of them. It's a remarkable run. The players, the fans, and more importantly, Ten Hag deserve massive praise and credit because it is a remarkable run, and we are playing more than anybody. We are playing 3 games a week, every 3.5 days on average. We've got a game of football, of high level competition football, and we don't have massive rotation. And we're finding ways of winning, which a year ago we'd probably lose that game 4-0. We'd be capable of losing the game 4-0. So. Yeah, the consistency is outstanding. The performance level, considering how much they're having to play, is outstanding. You're not going to play perfect football for 90 minutes every 3.5 days. And yet again, for most of the season, this is being built upon a very, very strong defence. How did Fabinho only get a yellow card? Ferguson tackle, but Casemiro a red for that. Disgrace, says Jordan. Fred, Martinez and Shaw, beautiful performance. Selfless 100%, says Jameson. Funny how VAR never spotted Schlupp staring Antony down for 30 seconds, but can spot a 2-second clip where Casemiro put a hand on someone else's neck, says Silu. And Ten Hag trusts the refereeing in the UK, says Tay. I just saw the replay, so the person trying to restrain a player gets the red, while the player committing the hard foul gets off with a yellow. Exactly, Stephen. Exactly. It's a disgrace. Absolute disgrace of a referee. What a joke. Ever since the City call, we're not going to get any calls for us. Sabitzer was class when he came on. God bless Martinez, says Hugh. And Nermark, come on, mate, you're being biased. Casemiro was choking him. It's a red for me. However, I agree, if this was Kane, they would have let him off. However, the most important thing is that we won. I see dead bodies. You might see dead bodies, but you don't see choking, mate. I do not know what you are talking about. He was not choking him. He was holding him off. It was not choking him at all. So there we go. Yeah, fantastic result for Manchester United. Somebody just said, can you look at David De Gea's tweets? Let's have a quick look at it. So I'm sure everyone else is going to have a look at it now. Yeah, he says, if I speak, I'm in trouble. And yeah, it's just an absolutely disgraceful decision, really. But look, bring it back to the game. We've won. And that's why I like moaning about things like that when we've won, because we always want to be better. Do your player ratings, mark every player out of 10, 6 being the average. I'm sure we can talk about the red card on the fan forum in the studio in a few minutes' time. But look, in the context of where we are, that stranglehold, pardon the pun, on top 4 is becoming better and better and better, isn't it? I was looking at it just before we went live, actually. And let's have a look at it here. So, Premier League table looks like this. Manchester United currently have 42 points. That puts us 6 ahead of Tottenham, and we played the same amount of games, who are in 5th place. We're 8 ahead of Brighton. We are 9 ahead of Brentford. And Brighton and Brentford are not going to challenge us for top 4. We are an amazing 13 points ahead of Liverpool and 12 points ahead of Chelsea. I will see where we are after we've played the Leicester game. But really, I think in the next 3 games, if we can win them all, top 4 is virtually guaranteed for us, because the gap is just getting ridiculously in our favour. Will Casemiro be available before the game against Barcelona? No. So Casemiro will miss both Leeds games and Leicester. Yeah, he'll be back for the Barcelona games, though. Thoughts on Sabitzer? He came in and showed class. I liked Sabitzer's performance. Spencer, thank you very much for the chat. Louis, I liked Sabitzer's performance. I just wish it had been in a different circumstances, because obviously it was very hectic out there, but I thought he did well. Adrian says, frustrating that Casemiro got sent off, was never a red. Martinez man of the match, and Sabitzer looked good when he came on. Yeah, I'm loving all this about Sabitzer. Thank you, Adrian. Yuz says, picture coming out of AU grabbing Fred by the neck. Absolute bias, says Yuz. And how soft Premier League has become. Could remember Stam grabbing Vieira by the neck and no card was given then to Zidane. Exactly. I just don't think that is anywhere near a red card. I think it's an absolute shambles, and it's an absolute disgrace that VAR even found it. You know, nobody was looking at that. It was a yellow card for Schlupp. It was a yellow card for Anthony, which I don't really understand why Anthony got booked. And then we move on. And then they're going, oh no, we think we found something else as well. Casemiro's straight red for card first ever as well. Spencer says, Mark, the fact of the matter is when Casemiro bought the Pepsi can, it didn't matter what man was the next in line, he popped the fizz, says Spencer, okay? And the referee was a horrible, but the boys showed that we're a real team with real fight. What's up from Florida, says Muzza. And you know what, as well? As much as that's an injustice, they've probably just done us a big, massive favour, because siege mentality is great. You know, we used to have this in the Sir Alex days. Let the referees start giving us bad decisions. Let, you know, people start having a pop at us, because you know what? It will create a siege mentality, which is exactly what you need. That, you know, I look back to the first United side with the likes of Bruce and Ince and Robson and everyone else in it. And then you go to the 99 side and the 08 side. We've always had that siege mentality to look after each other. And I think that's why Casemiro got involved, because it was Anthony, who was his mate, you know, his compatriot. He's very protective of Anthony, and I think that's why he got involved. I'm not going to criticise Casemiro for grabbing Hughes and trying, you know, keeping him away, but you know, let them try and take us down, you know, because it won't work. Club need to start talking to media about referees. Long as club don't speak, they don't take responsibility. Look what happened after Klopp spoke as well, says Sarvish. Yeah. What is the process for overturning a red card, says Akanesh? Well, we can try. I hope we do. Ari says, can we challenge it as well? But look, if you're one of those people who are just looking at it and going, he's got his arms round his neck, he's got to be a red card. I'm like, when has this ever been a red card? When is putting your hands on someone's neck been a red card? People have been doing it for decades. Choking someone, yeah, but holding him off and then going like that, no. And also, if you're going to give a red card for that, which is next to nothing, you've got to give a red card to the guy who's just bumped somebody 5 metres into a bloody advertising board, who has just been violent and caused it all. And also, if AU's got Fred round the neck, what's the difference? So it's just a bloody joke, and they should appeal it, but I don't think I don't think they'll do anything about it. Sabitzer robbed of assist due to poor refereeing, says Charlie. But it's a poor decision, and the reason you can tell it's a poor decision is because. Hated, adored, never ignored, says Kay. The reason you know it's a bad decision is because no Crystal Palace player expected it. No Man United player expected it. Casemiro didn't expect it. Ten Hag didn't expect it. Nobody expected it. It's just twat referees creating drama. When this ain't Happy Valley. It's not a BBC drama. This is Old Trafford football, Premier League football. Just stick your nose out of something. Don't create drama we don't need. Nobody was expecting it. It doesn't bring anything to the game. It was a waste of time. There's no advantage to that to anybody. Stupid. Crystal Palace did not even appeal against Casemiro. VAR spotted it and wanted it to be in the news. Exactly, Akesh. That's what I'm trying to say. I love Ten Hag, but I said Sabitzer should have come on not right when Casemiro got sent off. Should have waited for 2-1, in my opinion, says Levin. Thank you very much. Anyway, let's do the player ratings. It's a big result for Manchester United. I think in essence, the big thing to say is that, you know, those types of games are so important. In a 38-game season, where if you do well in the Cups, you could be playing 60 games, those sort of games are brilliant. You know, not necessarily our best game, not necessarily our worst game, but you find a way of winning. And with the volume of games we've got, it's a fantastic result. Is it just me, or do we always struggle whenever Andre Mariner is the ref? That's why I said it at the start, Radja. Any idea on how to apply as a ref in the Prem? I would love this job. You can still be garbage and get paid, says Reeves. He's a crap ref. He's always been a crap ref. And he's exposed himself 100% there. Right, let's do the player ratings. For me, I thought David Hare was a 7 today. I do. Let me just refresh this, because I don't think we've had many votes. We've only had 5. That's more like it. That's more like it. So I would give David De Gea a 7, which is what you've given him as well. Perfect. Yeah, I mean, he made a good save in the first half, quite low down. You know, distribution was fine again. I don't know why we talk about distribution really. You know, it's such a complex thing to discuss because somebody will show that long ball he hit to Weghorst, and I thought to myself, you know what? People don't understand distribution. David De Gea hits a long ball towards Weghorst and he gets beaten in the air by a guy who's about 5 inches smaller than him, and you go, well, that's not bad distribution. That's just somebody who's not actually that good at winning the ball when it's pumped up to him. So I think it's a bit of a waste of time doing that to Weghorst, really, but sometimes you got to, haven't you? Made some good saves. Their goal, I don't know what happened with their goal. I was surprised it went in. I'd have to see that again, but no, I thought it was a good performance from De Gea. Hi, Mike. Hope you're good. VAR this season has been a joke and inconsistent, says Spink. I hate these bad calls, but I like how the team is coming together because of them, says Stephen. Exactly. It's that siege mentality. And I thought a straight red should be for actual malicious intent that may lead to injury, plus Casemiro was in a higher ground. It was his natural reach. Angelo, the more people talk about it, the more illogical it becomes. Like, you know, where is the violent intent? He's holding him off. It's just mad. How is the ref getting away with it? Bloody ref fouled Bruno and continued the play. Can you please call Patrick Vieira a prat as well, Sakin says. And Mark, do you think the refs should be punished same as players with fines for wrong decisions? Andre Mariner got from bad decisions against United's Warrior. But remember, look, Andre Mariner was not going to send him off. The twat at VAR, the Jobsworth, the milk monitor, has found that and gone, look what I found. And then he's had to go and have a look at it. Andre Mariner, in his fairness, was not going to send Casemiro off because he hasn't seen anything. VAR has gone and found it and then to come and have a look at it. And then that's when Mariner becomes a prat because he looks at it and can't see what the rest of the world can see, that is not a red card, and decides to give him a red. Nathan says, I can't remember the exact wording, but it's to do with hands above the shoulders, allowing the ref to send off. Hence, if you push in the chest, it's yellow and face is red. Not saying I agree, though. That's just stupid, isn't it, Nathan? Yeah. Lars, thanks for being a member for 4 months. Sid, welcome to Members Club. If that's the last season, we definitely lose that match. Yes, Jerome, I agree. Let's go through these player ratings anyway. David De Gea, a good game. Wan-Bissaka, I thought he was, I'd give him a 7. I thought he was all right, Wan-Bissaka. I do worry about the cross to the back post, and Crystal Palace, every time in the last 15 minutes they were knocking that cross to the back post. He did win one of them quite well, but it is a weakness, but what we're going to do about it? I think apart from that, he had a decent game. I thought Varane played well as well. You know, I think that was just typical Varane for me. He's just had a very assured, understated, brilliant game. Like flawless again, just Rafael Varane. Rolls Royce, just does it, minimum fuss, brilliant performance. Really, really pleased with him. But I'd give Martinez an 8, and he would be my man of the match because whilst I think Varane was flawless and very good, Martinez just went to a different level. You know, he just had one of his best games for Manchester United. That game was built on a strong defence, and Martinez was our best defender today. He was solid. He read the game. He was physical, tackled well. You know, gets his body on the line. Just enjoys being a defender that is physical and reads the game so well. I thought he was really, really good. I thought Luke Shaw was a 7 as well. Really good performance from Luke Shaw, especially in the first half. Just Mr. Consistent as well, isn't he? That back five is just so consistent. You know, Wan-Bissaka, Shaw, De Gea, Martinez, Varane, they're so consistent. You are not going to get... Delo is going to struggle to get back in that team. I prefer Delo to Wan-Bissaka, but if it's done on fairness, then really it's a hard thing to bench Wan-Bissaka, and that's what it should be about. Casemiro, look, I'm going to give him a 6.5. I thought his performance was good. I think it's always, you've got to mark somebody down when they get a red card. I don't think it was a red card. I mean, you could say, why are we all getting involved in that? But then again, Roy Keane used to do it. You know, Beckham would go and get involved. Rooney would get involved. I'm not criticising Casemiro for running in to get involved and protect his teammates. He's a leader. And I'm not criticising him for where he's grabbed the player. Like you say, the player's lower down to him because of the way the grass goes down, and he's just holding him off. That's all he's doing. So I mean, look, I just think it's ridiculous. Fred for me was a 7. I thought, you know, we really needed him in them last 20 minutes and the energy. We miss Eriksen. I mean, Fred cannot be Eriksen. He cannot be Eriksen. It's impossible. But, you know, it was a good performance from Fred, and considering Casemiro had been sent off, and, you know, he was basically our only defensive outlet till Sabitzer came on, and then he carried on. I think Fred had a good game. Bruno was brilliant first half. Really good first half performance. Second half, you know, it was a challenging second half. I think Bruno tires in the second half, and he got a bit of a knock. But I'd give Bruno a 7. I thought it was a good, very, very good performance first half, and second half he quite, you know, he did fade and has been fading in a few games recently. But he plays so many games. Anthony. Probably 6 for me, Anthony. If I'm being honest, I really like the player. I don't blame him at all for what happened. Schlupp bloody bounced him 5 meters. I'd get up and push him back as well. I think anybody's got the right to push somebody who's just done that to them, especially when you know this prat of a referee's not going to do anything other than give him a yellow card. You've got to fight your own corner. So I haven't got a problem with that. My problem with Anthony is that, and look, he had a big part in the second goal. You know, he started it off with the pass. It was a lovely team goal. We're not talking about that because we're talking about winning, and we're talking about, you know, poor officiating. But that goal from Manchester United, can we just have a moment for that second goal? That's the best team goal we've scored in ages. And we need to score more goals like that. I think most of our goals at the moment come from individualism. We can score team goals, and they're beautiful. I mean, what was that? Anthony, Wan-Bissaka, Bruno, Casemiro, Garnacho, Shaw, Rashford. 7-player move. What a goal. Brilliant goal. Love it. I want to see more of that. But no, I just thought Anthony's overall performance today was average, which is not bad, but I think he's struggling for confidence. I think he overthinks things and over-tries things, and he's just not quite in the groove yet. He's not quite at the level of a Bruno or a Fred or a Rashford or a Casemiro who can just put the shirt on and know what they're going to do. I think Anthony's still unsure. He's still settling in, but you know that's fine. I think he'll be a good player. I think he's looking a lot sharper. Rashford probably 6.5 for me today. Rashford. It wasn't actually his best game. It wasn't, but he does what he does. He scores a goal. And it was a lovely goal. That's one of my favourite Rashford goals, and it's probably one of the easiest. I love the position he's in. He takes up. I love the fact that it was a team goal, and that's the great thing about Rashford. I don't think Rashford did play that well today. I think there was a few shots he could have done better. There's a few times he could have passed it, but he gets the goal, and that I think Rashford reflects Man United today. That, you know, we weren't at our best, but we still find a way of winning and making a big impact. So, you know, that's absolutely fine. I'm happy with that. Weghorst was probably a 5.5 today for me. I wouldn't even give him a 6 like Anthony. I think he was off it today. I don't know whether he's tired. I mean, look, these lads that we've got are used to playing game after game after game. Maybe he isn't, but he did look a bit tired today, and I think the substitution was bang on by Ten Hag. Garnacho, 6.5 for me. Remember he's a kid. He came on and he makes a difference, and that second goal came very quickly after he came on. And then he had to get subbed tactically because we were down to 10 men, so I felt sorry for him. So, I feel like encouraging him and saying, look, it wasn't average from him. It was above average, but he wasn't on that long. But 6.5 for Garnacho, and, he always makes a difference. He always makes a difference, and I think he's got a very exciting future at Manchester United. 6.5 for Sabitzer as well. Again, cameo, but he did come on and he made a difference. And look, we're going to need him. Casemiro loss is Sabitzer's opportunity. I'm interested to see what we're going to do against Leeds, because many people think we need McTominay back. Personally, I think we've got to try and find Sabitzer and Fred a way of working together, or maybe put Lindelof in there. So it'll be interesting to see what we do, because I think Fred's really important. You've got to find a way for Sabitzer, and you can't drop Bruno, have you? So it'll be interesting to see what we do. Look, Maguire 6, Lindelof 6, hardly on the pitch, so nothing wrong with that. And Ten Hag today, look, difficult circumstances, difficult game, and I think he got it. I think a 7's about right. It wasn't Manchester United's best performance by any means, but we got the job done. We had to. I actually think when Casemiro got sent off, I don't think Ten Hag acted, and I think someone said it in the chat, I genuinely don't think he acted quick enough. I think we didn't make the subs quick enough, and they managed to get a goal. And, they could have got another one very, very quickly. You've got to act quick in them circumstances, and I think for whatever reason, we hesitated, and really it should have been player sent off, right, Garnacho off, get Lindelof into the midfield, keep Fred in there. But we seem to delay, we seem to be, whatever that reason was. But overall, the overall momentum, the overall performance, the overall results, really, really good. And, look, you know, Ten Hag's doing a great job. Man of the match, I don't think you'd be surprised. 82% of the vote goes to Lisandro Martinez, and I'm absolutely over the moon with that because I think it's absolutely correct. And Manchester United fully deserved it. Do you see us appealing it, says Tom? I hope we do. I don't think we'll win the appeal, but I think you've got to appeal it. Tyler, welcome to Members Club. What more does Martinez need to do to get a 9 rating, says Luke? And all that aside, let's give these boys a big round of applause. They absolutely deserve it. Look, you know what? In the grand scheme of things, I'm frustrated because it's an injustice. I'm not frustrated because I think it means we're going to drop points and not get top 4. Leicester are at home. We should beat them, even without Casemiro. Leeds at home, we should beat them without Casemiro. And then, you know, if we beat Leeds and we beat Leicester and we draw at Ellen Road, that's not actually that bad, 7 points from 9, but I think we can win all 3. So look, it's not that I think the Casemiro red card harms us. I just think I think it's an embarrassment to the game, and I think it's an injustice. But overall, really, really pleased with Manchester United today. They're talking about it on the fan forum in the studio. I'm going straight over because as much as we've had our chat and I've had my say, I think this is one that's going to roll on and on and on. And don't forget, at 7:30 tonight, I'm live on TalkSport YouTube channel and on national radio. So if you want to call in and have your say, I'm sure there'll be a lot of people calling in about the Casemiro stuff as well as Liverpool losing, etc. So 7:30 till 9 o'clock on TalkSport YouTube and on national radio. I'll see you on there. But before that, we've got the fan forum in the studio, which I absolutely love. So get yourself over there and I'll speak to you in a bit.